Syracuse and Clemson kicks off in less than 30 minutes. And, I mean, hey, it's game day. This is game number 4 for Clemson. And so we're going to see how everything goes. Hey, if you're trying to catch the game, it starts at 12 o'clock on ESPN. Clemson is a 17.5-point favorite coming into this game, going up against the nation's second leading passer in passing yards. That's right. Steve Angeli has thrown for almost 1,100 yards this season, and we'll dive into that in just a second. Hey, welcome to the channel. If you love Clemson football, I hope you will subscribe. It is free. Just crossed over 8,000 subscribers and trying to get to 10,000. So if you, hey, listen, there's like 80,000 people I know that can fill in a Clemson stadium. So there's a lot of people who doesn't know about me. I hope you'll pass along to them and say, hey, this guy loves Clemson. Maybe you want to give him a shot. Send it over there to them, put it in your forums, etc. I do appreciate it. This week, things got really interesting. Dabo Swinney went on a small rant in which he said that if you're tired of winning, I'll leave. And it's reminiscent of 2023 when Tyler from Spartanburg called into the former call-in show and made the infamous call. Now, if you remember your timeline, that happened like, I want to say in late October, maybe earlier November. I'm pretty sure it was earlier November of 2023. But after playing 3 games, we're already at that place with Clemson. Now, there's a lot of different approaches here. Thinking about where the program's out, there's a lot of different thoughts. And for me, this sets up things very well for Syracuse and a coach, Fran Brown, who is very much an opportunist. The guy's going to take his opportunity. He took his opportunity to be a coach at Syracuse. Last year, they went 10-3. And for context, that's only the second time that they've won 10 wins or had 10 wins since 2001. Okay. So what he did last year in year 1 is something it's the only the only 10 win season that they've had they've had 3 of them. I'm saying this terrible and I'm butchering it. Anyway, second time since 2001. Now, a lot of that talent is gone. And Kyle McCord threw for almost 5,000 yards last year. Their top 3 receivers, including Meeks and Gadsden, gone. Their top rusher, gone. But with that said, you turn around and you look at Steve Angeli and you go, in 3 ball games, and their only loss is to Tennessee, a Tennessee team that took Georgia down to the wire last week. When you see that he has thrown the ball 125 times, he has 8 touchdowns, he only has 2 interceptions, and he's thrown for almost 1,100 yards, I think we know what they're going to try to do today. So that is something that you have to account for. I mean, are they going to try to sling the rock all over us? The answer is yes. And so if we're really trying to figure out what they're going to do against us today, that's it. They're going to try to throw all over us. The question is, do we get the stops? Now, on the defensive side of the football, let's just be honest with ourselves. We're probably, like myself, I'm looking up, total defense as we speak. I don't think really anyone knows anything about this Syracuse team, right? No one really knows about this defense unless you're a Syracuse fan. And what I mean by that is no one is losing their mind over a defensive juggernaut of Syracuse. And if you look at their games that they've played so far this year, they started off with Tennessee. They lost 45-26. They allowed 20 points against UConn. All right. And you're going to see a common theme here. They allowed 20 points against UConn. Afterwards, Fran Brown had them running. After the game, on the field, he had them running. Good job, Coach Brown. And then they played Colgate last week. They put up 66 points against Colgate, I know, but they allowed 24 points. So what does this say? This is not a defensive juggernaut. This is not one of the best defenses in in all of college football. They have a couple of players on their side that you want to keep an eye on. I think they're safety, and then they have I want to say a true freshman at cornerback that's raising some eyebrows. What am I trying to say to you in long form? Is that Clemson, if they attack Syracuse with the same offense that the same strategy that they used last week in quarters 2, 3, and 4, they should win this ball game. Because I believe Angeli will get his. He'll get some. He's a good player, by the way. He's a very good player. He's going to get some yardage here and there, even against our defense. But overall, this plays in Clemson's favor so much. But so has other games. So if you're a Clemson Tiger fan right now and you're not going to the extremes of fire Dabo, but you're not on the extreme also, which is an extreme of, oh, you know what, whatever happens, I just don't care anymore. If we can kind of meet somewhere in the middle and just be logical here, this is a very confusing game to call because Vegas believes that Clemson's a 17.5-point favorite. In fact, that's moved 1 point, I want to say, in their favor. Let me see where it opened. I want to go back to where it opened. Sorry, it's ESPN's taking a while to open it. So when it opened, Clemson was a 16.5-point favorite. Now they're a 17.5-point favorite. So, you know, that the idea is that Clemson should win this ball game. They should win this ball game. I'm going to say that again. They should win this ball game. But we're going to see which offense and which defense steps out there, and really which offensive strategy steps out there as well. I'm going to get into the comment section. Got Chase Henderson. Let me tell you this, Chase, it's good to see you. I'm going to scroll down here. I bet your brother's in here already. Parker is in here. Okay. So I'm gonna highlight these two. I'm going to tell you why. Chase hit me up yesterday and offered me a ticket to go with he and Parker, his brother. I call them the Henderson sisters for a joke. And offered me to go to the game with them. And Chase, I don't know if you want me to say where you're sitting. All I say is this guy has got outrageous seats. Like arguably the best in the house. Especially when you take into, I'm going to shut up now. And y'all, just going to tell you, past few weeks been kind of rough for me between a lot of different things. Work has been, there's been a lot. I've just had to work a lot, and I'm thankful for it. Praise the Lord. I have work. With that said, I was just like, man, I feel run down, and I really do feel run down. So I'm not sick. I'm not depressed. I'm just feeling kind of run down. So I said, nah, man, I can't do it. And then this morning he checked in on me and said, hey, man, if you feel any better, if you feel better and you want to come to the game, you know, head on over. We still got a ticket for you. So I just want to say that Chase and Parker Henderson, they're there right now. And Chase, you offered me a wonderful ticket. Thank you, dude. I appreciate both of you. And I appreciate everybody in here. But they've been friends of the show for a long time. So I hope y'all, they also sent me a picture of their seats, and well, it's incredible. So thank you. Good to see y'all in here as always. Fly through this, and then I'm going to talk about something that's very interesting. The game kicks off in about 20-ish minutes, but I'm going to tell you something that I listened to on the radio this morning that really bothered me. And I'm not being doom and gloom here, but I'm going to tell you it really bothered me. And it deals with, it was on the Clemson radio show, the Clemson pregame show on the Clemson network. And not knocking anyone there, not knocking them at all. So before anyone, if someone's on their side of things here, it's like, all right, he's about to rip. No, I'm not. I'm not about to do it. But what I heard really bothered me. Get in here, say hello. Will, man, good to see you, brother. Mall Cop, at least Bailey Zimmerman is here. So, oh, he's there? Really? Wow. I hate how I just don't have that much excitement for Clemson this year. I know. May there to you. Sup, B? Good luck. T.O. Tigers, go Dogs. Good to see you, my man. I have us losing. Adam better get 40 touches. Hey, Brian, how them Tigers going to do today? Who knows? Daryl Cheeks, hello from the Philippines. Good to see you, my man. Brian's gone international. Yes. Had someone in Ireland the other day hit me up. That made me feel it. Yeah, it's crazy. GT fan here. We need y'all to become elite again and beat Louisville and FSU so we can have a clear path to the ACC championship. Hey, right now, yeah, never mind. A lot of people expect Tennessee to beat Syracuse, but the UConn game was scary close. I will take Clemson and win this one. Kason and Chloe, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. What's up? One game at a time. Yep. 16-13 kind of game. Patrick Mercer, probably so. Go Tigers. No smoked chicken today. Going to fire up the grill and cook me a fat ribeye. Fat ribeyes and brats. I just picked up some steaks. I ate a little something just a second ago. And my wife was like, I told you that I had food ready for tonight. And I was like, well, I may be cooking steaks for lunch. Here we go. Mitchell hips need to see some improvements today. Yeah, Mitchell. Mr. Brand, what do you hear on the radio? Then I'm going to tell you. There's 57 of you in here on the Clemson pregame show. I hope you'll subscribe if you like what I do and pass it along. Also, remember, I have another channel, another college football podcast where I talk about college football as a whole. The link is below there. Hope you'll click on it, go over there and subscribe. It's a brand new channel. So I was driving this morning. I went out and me and my son, my oldest is at the beach today. My youngest, I like to take him out on Saturday mornings, and he and I just spend time together. We just like to, just clear my head. We're not sitting in front of a TV. We're not, off in la la land on our devices. So we ran a few errands this morning. We went a few places, and then we stopped by the grocery store to pick up said steaks. And as I was getting close to the grocery store, we were turning on, just running through the radio stations and heard the Clemson network. Now, here in the upstate of South Carolina, it's on 92.5. It's a local country station. And I was like, that's pregame. And I was about to turn it, but I heard this guy talking, and I was like, there were some things he said. I was like, I'm going to stop. And I listened to it. And if my memory serves me correct, it was the Clemson football team psychiatrist. And the things that he was saying they were good, and I get it, but he was talking about having to deal with players and encourage the players that you need to be goal driven versus feeling the heat of the expectations. And that he needed to change their verbiage from what people expected them to do to things that they needed to do. Now, I'm going to pause here and tell you, I agree with a lot of what he said and in an approach, because at a extremely low level, I've coached and I've had to coach. I've had to coach. I'm the guy that they give all the new kids to. Like when I coach, I'm the guy that gets the new kids while this other dude over here has a team that's been stacked. He's had his team since they were out of the womb, right? So I'm used to having to motivate kids who has rarely seen a football before. And I'm not kidding. I've done this a lot. I've got used to it. The only crappy part about it is the guys who's had the team that's put together for a while is that they get a false sense that they can actually coach. And I mean, anyway, I'm gonna leave that sitting right there. You can go ahead and make of it what you want to make of it. But a lot of those guys, when just a little bit of something doesn't go their way, they become pouty babies. So anyway, I know what it's like to have to motivate these guys. I know what it's like. But I want to tell you folks that I have said this for a very long time. I'm going to say it again. Expectation is a compliment. How many people today are expecting Wake Forest? And I don't even know who they're playing. How many people are expecting Wake Forest to beat the brakes off of whoever they're playing today? Because Wake Forest is just so talented from top to bottom. How many people are expecting that? Any takers? So while I don't want Clemson fans or anyone in the media to be abusive to our players, I don't want them talking trash. I don't want you walking up to Kay Klubnik and saying you're garbage, even if that's how you feel. That's uncivil. And this is just a flipping game, y'all. At the same time, expectation is a compliment. It means people believes in you. And then once people stop believing in Clemson after they lost to Louisville because their offensive scheme didn't make sense, LSU, or if I said Louisville, I meant to say LSU. They lost to LSU, and the opposing team said, we knew they weren't going to run the football, which doesn't make sense. You name a man a starting running back, give him the ball. By the way, he's averaging over 5 yards per carry. I think Adam Randall's doing just fine right now. Some of you are like, I don't know in what world that 5 yards per carry is not good. I'd like to see that world. Adam Randall is fine. Just give him the football. But when that whole Troy fiasco happened, and then last week happened, sure, people are not going to believe in you anymore. So, and I say this with as much grace as I can possibly offer people, because I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and so have you. And if you think, no, I really don't make that many mistakes, that is your mistake, is that you're prideful. With that said, which is it? You want people to believe in you, which will create expectation, or you don't want people to believe in you, which is going to create no expectation. Life is difficult. Choose your difficult. And maybe the problem on the team is some of them started to read all the publicity about the team and about themselves and their draft stock and where they would go and potential NIL earnings. And maybe that's the problem. I didn't say all of them. I said some of them. Now, hey, listen, when a ton of money is injected into the system, guess what? Expectation. If you hate expectation, don't you dare take $1. Don't you take the scholarship that's given to you to come play at Clemson. When I accept a job, y'all are going to be shocked at this. Everybody, I hope you have your adult diapers on. There's expectation. They expect me to perform. They expect me to talk to customers. They expect me to troubleshoot problems and give the proper answer in a reasonable amount of time. They expect me to be an expert at what I do. And the more money that is injected into your role, the more expectation. And that bothered me. And I'm going to say this, and I don't mean this towards every football player on Clemson's football team, because I think right now they are the product of a coaching staff that is not whole. I think they're a product of a coaching staff that a lot of the position coaches, whether they're a former player or a friend of certain coaches, should not be coaching at Clemson, because at this point in their career, maybe later, and I don't mean this mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but I am going to have to tell the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. You don't have to be a jerk about it. Just tell the truth, and it'll cut. We have a bunch of coaches throughout the team that is not Clemson level coaches. They may be good people. They may have played at Clemson at one time. They may give you the shirt off their back. And that is admirable. That is wonderful. But like I used to say about my Granny Wilson, I love her with all my heart, and I miss that woman. It's 19 years almost since I lost my great-grandmother, and that woman helped raise me. I miss her every day, but I darn well don't want her doing brain surgery on me, because she's not qualified, no matter how good she was. I don't want her coaching my football team. Why? Because she is not qualified. Well, Brian, she raised you. Yes, thank God that I had a woman like her to take care of me. That still doesn't mean she needs to be carrying a clipboard on Clemson sideline. And some of you, once y'all get that and accept that, it's going to change a lot for you. And let's go back to the players. I've had to look my 19-year-old in the eye and say, son, why do you think that we have a bunch of drunks out there, a bunch of guys who drink too much alcohol all the time? They're trying to cope. And I'm getting a little deep here, but y'all just hang with me. I'll come back up in just a second. Put the floaties on. They're dealing with stress and expectation. What? And I hate that for them. It's creating a problem for them. But these guys are being paid now. A lot of them are being paid. They're on full scholarship. No, you don't need to say awful things to them. But I'm sorry, that's going to create expectation. And once they come out of that jersey, especially if they don't go to the NFL, they're going to find a whole world. You're going to be shocked at this. That doesn't care that they used to be a football player, and they're going to have expectations for them. God forbid we sugarcoat that from them. I want to get into the comments section here and say hello. Say hello to a few people. And by the way, I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find this live. Now you can find this. On the first article that pops up is from Associated Press. Okay. Whether you like them or not, this is where the article comes from. Associated Press reported 2 days ago. Clemson coach Dabo Swinney says high player pay comes with high responsibility amid team struggles. I'm going to read as much of this as I can to you. I mean, you can't have it both ways, Swinney said this week, according to the Post and Courier. It's more than just a scholarship. Revenue share is based on performance, right? There aren't lifetime contracts. It's no different than the next level. You got to perform. Cade Klubnik reportedly being paid $2.5 million is struggling with 3 touchdowns thrown and 3 interceptions in 3 games. Defensive linemen Peter Woods and TJ Parker reportedly are earning 7 figures. Swinney said Woods has been solid, but said Parker has been good, but not great. He said, I don't think these guys get too full of themselves. I just think sometimes the expectations can become focused on become the focus as opposed to just the process. These are young people, so yeah, for this particular group that they have never dealt with that. Okay, let's pause right there. I agree with that 100%. And you're like, why are you talking about this in the pregame show? Because we don't know exactly everything that's going on behind closed doors, but what you're about to see in the next 10 minutes and how they play and how they respond to being 1-2 and how their coach went on a rant this week, second time in 2 years, threatening to leave. I don't want him fired. Just throwing that out there to you. And I think that we're going to have to accept as Clemson fans that if he wants to burn it down, not wants to burn it down, but if he ends up burning it down, it's his to burn down. But, and by the way, you can burn something down and not to consciously do it. All right. I just want to make that very clear. I don't think he's sitting over at his house going, how can I destroy this program? Don't read into that. I'm just saying people who build it, and he did, it just seems from his rhetoric, his mind doesn't he's more irritated with us. And so, I'm just accepting that whatever happens, because you can't fire a guy that got you 2 national championships, right? And who are you going to go get? And I don't want him fired. I just wished he would, not rant, because that makes him look really, really bad. If I was his wife, I'd be in his ear going, listen, you got to listen to me. You may overlook the AD and you may overlook the president, but you got to listen to me. You are taking your legacy and you are ruining it. You can't do that anymore. I know you're from Alabama. I married you. I know exactly where you're from. You can't do that anymore. I'm telling you, it's embarrassing. You're hurting yourself. You're making you start off by saying that you're thick skin. You have thick skin. and then you go and prove quite the opposite. You can't do that, man. And then your players are seeing them lose it. Well, he's taking up for them. Okay. Anyway, I'll leave it here. Coach Swinney said, I mean, you can't have it both ways. It's more than just scholarship. Revenue share is based on performance, right? These aren't lifetime contracts. It's no different than the next level. You got to perform. Coach Swinney, I say this as someone who spent about an hour this week on a video, or 45 minutes, saying that anyone who's calling for your head is absolutely wrong. That I acknowledged that you did what you did, and he did, by the way. I also acknowledged that that was a coaching staff that pretty much doesn't exist anymore. It's not at Clemson anymore. The vast majority of that, a lot of that coaching staff that got him the results is gone, and has been gone for, think about it, about 4 or 5 years. So I would say this, Coach Swinney, I agree with you 100%. 100%. 100%. When you interject a lot of money in it, there's a lot of expectation. And while I don't want you fired, and I don't want people saying ugly things just to be ugly and saying stupidity, I would say that's also the same for you, sir. You make an ungodly amount of money, and that's totally fine with me. It's just going to drive up expectation. It's just going to. And we're going to see in the next few minutes if Clemson responds, or if Clemson is spending too much time in counseling sessions and taking up for themselves versus playing football. We will see. I'll see everyone at halftime. I'm going to get in here, say hello to a few people before we go. I will be here at halftime. I'm holding my breath on this one. I picked Clemson to win this one, but who cares? I mean, who really cares? Who cares what I think? Big Load. Kate is a multimillionaire. NKZ. Good to see you, my friend. Let's see. Smitty is in here. We got Red Devil, Tiger Red Devil. We got Anderson All Red. Can't make this game competitive today with the Qs. Kevron. We got Greyhound in here. Let me see. Drew. South Carolina 864. Mike Madden's in here. Michael Forster's in here. Joseph Noto. Let me see. Broski. And then a country song came on. Absolutely. All right, folks. We will see how our Tigers do here in just a moment. See you at halftime. I hope you'll subscribe. Hope you'll pass around. Y'all take care of it. And as always, can't speak. And as always, go Tigers.